Just looking at the game on Wednesday, what's the team news ahead of the game on Wednesday?
Yeah, we've got one or two slight concerns after the game on Saturday. We'll need to assess the squad fully tomorrow. One or two have been seeing the medical team this morning, so we've got a couple of decisions that we'll need to make on whether we can risk those individuals. Peter Pawlett and Glenn Middleton have been making good progress behind the scenes. Two very good players, potentially two very influential players as well, who we certainly could have done with on Saturday, because either coming off the bench and making an impact, or from the start, both of those players can add a different dynamic to the forward line. So we're trying to push those two as quickly as we can without causing any more damage, really. So we've got the bulk of the squad that was available on Saturday available to us, and one or two question marks over a couple.
The offensive play on Saturday was probably more than has been over the last few weeks. 20 shots on target, I think it was, for the
24.
24. Yeah.
Right, attempts I should say, not on target, but attempts.
So, I mean, what do you put that down to? Just the difference between where the team was before you came in and what's appeared there on Saturday?
I never really like hearing new managers especially, coming in and talking about previous managers and previous styles of play. I've far too much respect for Liam Fox, who's one of the nicest guys you could ever wish to meet in football. So I'm certainly not going to sit here and talk about where they were going wrong during that time. All I can talk about is what we asked the players to do, the message that we gave to the players on Thursday and Friday. And if you were reading the paper yesterday and weren't aware of the scoreline, and all you saw was the stats, and you had to choose which team had won the game, then based on the 24 goal attempts that we had and Aberdeen's 9 attempts, and the number of crosses and corners and possession, all of those key metrics were in our favour. Unfortunately, that one that's the most important, whereas the goals scored column, was against us. But if we can continue to have that level of consistency and the stats are that high on a regular basis, then we will win more games than what we will lose. In terms of the players, I have to give them great credit. Honestly, I think I've been a player before in a dressing room where a manager's been sacked, and it's very unsettling for them. I think I'm the third manager in a season that's been through that door, giving them a different message, and that's why we've just tried to simplify things. I think we can get carried away with style of plays and philosophy and everything else. All I want to see from whatever 11 I decide to put on the pitch is maximum effort, maximum commitment. Show everybody that's connected to the club that you care and that you've got a desire to go and put things right. Now, I'm not going, and I said to the players this morning, I'm not going to give them too many plaudits for that, because that should be a minimum requirement. In terms of effort and in terms of commitment, that should be there week in, week out, regardless of opposition. But we have to make sure that that's there, that mindset is there consistently. And if we do that, then the quality that's in the squad is there for everybody to see. Some really good experience, some guys in the squad who have played at the highest level, strong characters, and I can sense a real feel from the players that they are so desperate to make amends, that they're well aware of the circumstances that they're in, and they just want to put things right, and that's all we'll continue to do.
Any concerns about going down to Livingston on Wednesday, or what are your biggest concerns about going down there on Wednesday?
Listen, you know what you're going to get with Livy. They're a very well organised team, very hard working. Davies a very, very good coach, and I think Davies adapted his style of management over the last 3 or 4 years. Livingston were very much renowned as a direct long ball team, and he's tactically made some changes, which is credit to him, and it shows the quality of coach that he is, and he's changed the system a little bit, and they probably sometimes don't get the credit they deserve for being as good a football team as they are. So I think first and foremost, we've got to be up for the scrap, we've got to be up for the battle, we've got to win those individual battles all over the pitch, and then it will come down to what team has got more quality in the final third. And as you said, in the lead up to your question, if we are to have another 24 goal attempts, and if we're to put as many crosses into the box as what we did on Saturday in the game on Wednesday night, then I would predict that we would take advantage of those situations more on Wednesday than what we did on Saturday.
What's been different since the new manager's come in, training wise, pre-match? You know, the chat and things, but at half time. What's been different for the players?
Like I said, this is, I think, the third session we've had together. So, but look, the gaffer's come in, and you know, it's just more about, like I said, emphasise on going back to the basics. You know, this season we've conceded too many light goals, I should say, against opponents that we shouldn't have conceded goals to, and just little errors. And you know, when he's come in, it was just more about making sure we get back to the basics, clean sheets, staying compact, and making it hard for opponents to get near our goal. And you know, I think we did that majority of the game, especially in the first half against Aberdeen. And you know, I think the more we're going to have time to work on what the gaffer wants us to do, I think the stronger this group will get.
Saturday's game was certainly a very positive output. I think it was 20 shots on the goal for the thing, which is more than United have had in probably the last 4 or 5 games. Is that something that's been actively encouraged to be more proactive?
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's you know, when you obviously are solid in a good formation and a good block, you know, you tend to make it hard for the opponent to break you down. And when you pinch those balls and you're in the right, your players are in the right position on the pitch and spread out well, you're always going to find chances. And you know, I think the chances we created were great. The way we moved the ball, you know, we analysed that this morning, and obviously, you know, after losing a game, your head's down, and you know, for a day or two, you're kicking yourself. But obviously, when you analyse the game, the positive stuff we did, you kind of don't realise until you watch it back. And like I said, at the end of the day, it matters about the 3 points. So we're going to Livy to make sure we do that.
And what's the most concerning part for going down to Livy on Wednesday?
Oh, look, every game's going to be a tough game from here on out. But look, our first opponent is Livy, and you know, we're just focused on that. We'll analyse them tomorrow. And look, you know, I've been there before this season, and it's not an easy place to go. But you know, I think we've got enough experience in this team, and to get the job done over there.